Imagine you're on a trip to another country, and suddenly something strange happens. As you hand out your passport to the customs to get a stamp, the officer stares at your passport with a puzzled look. He shows your passport to his colleague, who also looks confused. You start wondering what on earth is happening, and you get a worried feeling that something isn't right. You ask the custom agents, "What's wrong?" Then you get the most bizarre reply possible: "Sir, your country doesn't exist, and you're being detained." That is part of the story of Berhodrick Jenansfer, the man from Taured. Quantum mechanics tells us that particles can exist in multiple states at once, and that the act of observing a particle determines which state it will take. This concept is known as quantum superposition. The idea of the multiverse theory is that each time a particle makes a decision, the universe splits into multiple parallel universes, each representing a different outcome of the decision. That means that there could be an infinite number of parallel universes, each representing a different possible outcome of every decision that has ever been made. Maybe in another universe, Einstein never discovered the theory of relativity, and the concept of GPS and its widespread use in navigation and technology is non existent. So people there still use maps and compasses to find their way. One interesting aspect of the multiverse theory from quantum physics is that it offers the possibility of quantum teleportation. This means that information, or even entire objects, could be transferred from one universe to another. Did this happen to the man from Taured? It's July 1954. A man arrives at the Tokyo International Airport and hands over his passport to be stamped. The Japanese immigration officer notices something strange. Although his passport looks authentic, the country where it was issued isn't recognized by the officer, and he asks his colleague if he knows where the country is. He didn't. Neither did their supervisor. So, to check if the man was lying, the officers asked if he could show them where the country was on the map. The man is annoyed, but he agrees, and they take him into the interrogation room. Berhodrick is visibly irritated. The officers show him the map of Europe, and right away he points them at an area occupied by the Principality of Andorra, and says that this is the Kingdom of Andorra, which had been in existence for 1000 years, and is puzzled as to why his country was given a different name on the map. He then says that he had flown to Japan 2 times that month and he had no problems with the customs. He even had stamps on his passport which were confirmed to be authentic. It wasn't enough for the officers to believe, so he took out his wallet to show the officers that he had different currencies as a business traveler. The customs agents examined them, and he had money from several European countries, Japan, and Taured. But the most bizarre thing is yet to happen. The customs agents were shocked at what had happened, and the mystery man was detained by the officers in a nearby hotel room for the night while the officials tried to figure out what was going on. They told him that he could not leave the room and gave him a phone on which he could only call the room service, and 2 armed guards were stationed outside his door at all times. The evening passed calmly. The only thing that happened was that the man complained of a headache and thought that a meal could make him feel better, so he used the room service. In the morning, the custom agents called him but he didn't answer, and the guards were instructed to open the door. He was not there. The room had no sign that a man had eaten a meal or that anyone had even been there. The windows weren't open, so the door was the only way in or out. But the guards insisted that no one had gone through the door except for a room service. To make matters worse, his passport and other documents that were confiscated for the investigation and put in the airport security room were now gone, as if that never happened and the man never existed. The government quickly classified the story to avoid embarrassment, and because of that, there are no documents to confirm this case. But is this story real? And where does it come from? In the book The Directory of Possibilities from 1981, there is one interesting passage. And in 1954, a passport check in Japan is alleged to have produced a man with papers issued by the nation of Taured. The authors got this from an article in a Japanese newspaper from 1960. The article stated that a mysterious foreigner named John Allen K. Ziegler wanted to travel the world, so he created a fictional country, language, and currency, and even made a fake passport. He also claimed he worked as an intelligence agent for his country. He traveled all over the Middle East using his fake passport and his story with no problems. But when he landed in Japan, the customs agents didn't buy his story and arrested him. Although the country which he used in his passport wasn't Taured, and unlike the man from Taured, Ziegler gets sentenced to 1 year in prison, he never changed his story, and he even tried to commit suicide in front of the judge when he saw he was losing the case. Furthermore, after he served his sentence, no one ever heard from or saw him again. It's like he vanished from this world. Who knows? Maybe there was a man in another universe from Angola who traveled to Japan and was detained because his country never existed there. And when he pointed out the map of where his country was, he pointed at the kingdom of Taured.